There are two methods to solve compound interest problems. We can either use the compound interest formula or we can use the TVM solver on the calculator. This question was taken from page 544 in your text. It says determine how much money you have to invest at 5.75% per annum, compounded semi-annually, for the investment to accumulate to 8,000 in 5 years. So we write out our formula, which is A equals P times 1 plus I to the power of n, where A is the accumulated amount, so the amount that we have in the future, P is the principal, what you start with, I is the interest rate, and n is the number of compounding periods. So what we're solving for in this case is we want to know how much money we had to invest. So this means we're looking for P, our starting amount. So fill in the information that you do have, which is 8,000 equals P bracket 1 plus, now we have this 5.75% per annum. We want to know what it is per compounding period. So if we're compounding semi-annually, twice per year, we're going to divide that by 2. So you'll have 0.0575 divided by 2. And to the power of n, it's compounding semi-annually for 5 years, so twice a year for 5 years, to give us a total of 10. First of all, I'm going to simplify this bracket here. So in your calculator, you'll type this in as 1 plus, and then in brackets, 0.0575 divided by 2. Enter, and then to the power of 10. And enter. So this value here, we have 8,000 equals P times 1.327695,497, on and on. Okay, so now we want to divide by that number in order to cancel it out on this side. So we're going to divide by 1.327, so forth, and over here as well. So a quick way to do that in your calculator is just type 8,000 divided by second negative sign to get the answer from your previous calculation, and we get $6,025. So initially, this is what we would have to invest if we wanted it to accumulate. So we round to the nearest hundredth to get 48 cents. Now we can solve this same problem on the calculator. So to get to your TVM solver, if you have a TI-83, you'll press second x to the negative 1 to get to the TVM solver. If you have a newer version of the calculator, then you'll be looking for a button that says apps, APPS, and it's going to be right around here, just below the X, T, theta, N button. So it'll be right where this matrix button is. Go into the TVM solver, and we're going to enter our values here. So our N was 10, our I, this time we leave it as the annual interest rate. When you're using your TVM solver, you don't have to divide it by 2, and you leave it as a percent, you don't convert it to a decimal. PV, present value, that's what we start with. That's the value that we're looking for here. Payment, we don't have any in this question. Future value, we want to know when it equals 8,000. And then payments per year, we don't have any, but it's just going to default to the same as compounding periods per year when we don't have any payments. So we'll change that to 2. Go up to the payment, now press alpha, enter, and oops, go up to the PV and alpha, enter, and we get the same value. Now, the thing that the TVM solver can do that you cannot do using the formula is solve problems that involve payments. So in this case, what if I said, how much would you have to invest initially if you were going to add $50 per month? So I'll clear that out, put it back to 0, make my payment negative 50. Now I change my PY to 12 because I'll be making a monthly payment of $50. Now, see, your CY will automatically default, so you want to make sure that you change that number back to a 2. The N, when you have payments, is no longer the number of compounding periods like it is with the formula. It's the number of payments. So we have 12 payments per year for 5 years. 12 times 5 would give us 60 total payments. Go back, alpha, enter, and we get $3,419.33. That's how much we'd have to invest if we were going to put in $50 a month. We'd only have to invest $3,400 as opposed to over $6,000.